What is up, Team Happy and Fit? I'm so excited that it's Tuesday. I just need you to know that coaching isn't perfection and your life isn't always a highlight reel. So if you're struggling, like, talk about it. It's fair. If you were to go to my Instagram right now, don't do it now, do it later. Be engaged with this call. But I just shared a vulnerable post. Like, I legitimately, it was hard. It was hard to share. And I feel like the coolest part about vulnerability is that it's strength and it connects you to people. But the thing is, this is where you have to be careful, is through your vulnerability and through your heart, you can't stay there. Like, you cannot let that consume your life. You have to acknowledge it and you have to work through it and on it, if that makes sense. So for me, sharing vulnerability is really hard. But something that I do is I still do personal development. I still work on myself, and I still am not always like peppy and happy, but that doesn't equal necessarily like opposite of being, I don't know how to explain this. Like, you can still go through the hard and still be incredibly grateful. Like, you can still go through some stuff and get through it to become stronger. Just because you go through some setbacks and obstacles doesn't mean that you are going to completely get off track. But the thing is it's very important to not stay stuck there. You got to connect with the community. So that's where I'm at. I was in a little bit of like, woo, my heartstrings today. And I was like, you know what is so cool though, is that and I think Lauren Lundberg would agree with this on this, is like, we have a tribe that are following us, and they've been following our journey and our story. And Lauren and I talk about this a lot, that we feel our best through our funk and stuck and hard when we express it through words to other people. And it almost allows us to process how we're feeling, but then it really connects us to our tribe. And so that is just some piece of advice that I have for you. Before we get kicked off with some guest speakers, Lisa Locke, you know you're speaking tonight, right? Okay, perfect. Good. I'm glad we're like on the same page. Like, Brittany, you're on here too, because some people might not know. But I told you in a text, and I don't know if you told me, like, so change your state, do whatever you need to do, go on your rebounder, it's fine. But I'm excited to hear about the podcast is all I'm saying. But if you are a new coach, or you've been a coach for a while and you haven't had a win as of late, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like, do you feel a little defeated by not having a win? Maybe like you're just like, God, you're just frustrated and you want to do it. This is my piece of advice this week. Let's do the help one challenge. Let's help one person. I don't care how you help them. If it is with Beachbody On Demand, awesome. If it is with Clean Week, awesome. If it is with the challenge pack, great. But can we all commit to here that we are going to help one person this week? We are going to help them. We're going to give them a free trial. Don't lean on the free, right? Like, it's easy to do the easy thing, but where you're going to grow in this is challenging yourself. But it's going to literally be like hashtag help one person. And we're going to share that all on Team Happy and Fit throughout the week of who we are helping. And I just think you getting that quick win is going to build your confidence in what it is that you offer. What you offer is more than fitness and nutrition. What you offer is yourself. And you have to remember that. What you offer is your own journey. What you offer is that you stick to your journey. What you offer is that you don't quit. What you offer is that you invest in personal development. And you don't underestimate that. You don't need to be farther along in this. You don't need to have more things under your belt. That's not how this works. This doesn't work based on credentials. This doesn't work based on an amount of schooling and knowledge and years being in this. This just works with enthusiasm and direction. This works with belief. And this works with taking action based on that belief. Does that make sense? So what I want you to do, and if you are a new coach, however you got started, I want you to help someone get started the same way. A couple of reasons why I'm really excited about this is that Brittany Burmeister, Sarah Scott, and Morgan Schaefer all started on the same day a year ago. How cool is that? But the coolest part about that is all three of those ladies told me no for like 3 years. And 2 to 3 years, like straight up, like multiple no's. It's true. Brittany's going to talk about that in a little bit. And they all signed up on the same day. It was so cool. But the thing is I didn't wait for them, but I massively believed in them and kept on going. And that whole journey is everything. Like, to just massively believe that what you're offering is more than fitness and nutrition. People are going to believe that. So as you're offering this to people and as you're talking about this to people, I need you to think about a couple things. If you're on my Saturday chat, our Saturday chat, wasn't that so good? on Saturday. Like, it was one of those Saturday chats where we're like, we should have recorded this. It was so good. And so I'm going to recap a little bit of that, but I could feel the energy of the ladies on that call just because of the things we were talking about. And I said this, you have to shift the mindset of other people. So what I mean by that is this, I don't know, I'm afraid to do it. I don't know, like, I don't think I can stick to it. I don't like at-home workouts. They go to the negative, right? So this is what you need to do in your conversations as you're talking to people. Hey, you know what? I know you're afraid. I know you feel like you don't have money, but if you were to do this, what could be the best possible outcome from this? What could be the best possible thing to happen to you by doing this? Because they only go to that negative. They only go to they discount themselves before even going for it. They already put limitations on themselves without even trying. Megan, I'm so glad you're here too, sister. So cool. Brittany, awesome shout out. But you know what I'm saying? When people put that limitation on you because you reach out to them, shift their thinking. You have shifted your thinking, and instead of giving into their limitations and being like, okay, you got to be like, Wyatt just looked at me like, Mom, you need to tone it down. No, I'm not going to. Shift their thinking, change their life. Because you're here, in a way, you were shifted. So when someone is putting a discount on themselves and not even believing in their potential, they're using their excuses to guide them. So instead, how about you just say, what is the best possible thing? I did that with Corey. Gosh, Corey, I hope you're watching this recording. I hope you follow me on YouTube. You're amazing. She got the Lift 4 Challenge Pack, and I'm just so excited for her. Like, genuinely, we've been connecting as friends, and it's been awesome. I found her on Instagram, and we've been talking, and she was just telling me all the reasons she couldn't, all the reasons she was nervous, all the hesitations that she had. And that was the one thing I asked her. I said, Corey, what would be the best possible thing for you joining this? Because you're doing a really good job of figuring out all the reasons why you can't. And she said, the best possible thing is that I would lose those 15 pounds that I've gained and that I would feel better. And I said, that sounds heck of a lot better than all the other reasons why you can't do it. I'm going to go with the other one. And she signed up. And I can already tell a difference in her confidence. I can already tell a difference in her energy. It's so awesome. So how about we elevate people's thinking instead of approaching people with this, like, we're offering something weird. You're offering a transformation that helps that life. Brittany, Sarah, and Morgan all signed up with a challenge pack, but this whole year has changed their life and they're still here. And to go to my point back, new coaches, the reason you need a win in this is because you're more likely to stick around a year from now by not doing this by yourself. And that was my whole point to this entire story, is that team, if we do this help one thing, your little funk that you're in, this little weird state of whatever you're in, you getting a quick win right now and helping one person is more likely going to help you continue to go to whatever it is and wherever you want to go. And that is why you need to just show me then. You tell me you want to do this. You say you're in. I see the chat. How about this? Okay, now show me. Let's show the team. Let's do it. How do you do that? It's simple. You see someone, I gave this on the Saturday chat, and I was like, I don't think that this would be mine. Hey, girl, see you did a 5K, and we know, like, 5Ks and Julianne don't mix. So, like, those aren't friends. Like, running and 5Ks and Julianne are not in the same area, right? No. The old me would be like having a beer watching a 5K or only doing a 5K for the beer, right? I don't drink, but, you know, that's just like where my head's at, is not actually the running part of it. You'd be like, hey, girl, I see that you did a 5K. Would you be interested in motivating other people to get fit and healthy and happy? That's an invite, dude, right? Hey, sister, have you ever considered encouraging others more? You're really encouraging me. Yeah, actually, that would be great. Sweet. You need to do what I'm doing. Or don't underestimate the family and friends plan. Hey, I'm doing this thing. It's changing my life. It's not only helping me with fitness and nutrition and taking all the guessing out of it. It's easy to follow. It's giving me more organization. It's giving me more confidence. I literally don't have to guess at getting fit. I'm feeling better. My confidence is shifting. I'm not tying my confidence to a scale or a number anymore. I'm not counting calories. I feel so good. I need you to do this with me. Because what I'm discovering is I'm so surprised by how much the support has made me a better person. I'm so surprised by how much this community has impacted me. If you talk to Erica, Erica would say her number one reason for joining this would not be the community. But go ask her now. I think she would say she is most definitely surprised by how much this community has affected her. Anybody else? Are you surprised by that? How about we talk like that? How about instead, I was telling this on the Saturday chat, but it's too good to not share. And yesterday in the Q&A, I keep repeating myself, but you got to hear it. And I see some of you, this is your third time for me hearing it. And I see you like nodding because you're like, yes, this is good, right? How about, and Kim, I was telling you this, how about we go from logistics to feelings? How about instead of just being all about what's in a challenge pack, but what that's actually going to do for their life? You're going to feel more organized. You're going to feel more confident. You're going to be surprised by the community, right? I'm trying to think of other things that this would do for you. You're actually going to have more pep in your step. You're going to sleep better. You're going to feel so good. You're going to actually have more time for this. This is not going to add to your plate. It's going to help your plate. You're going to feel more energetic mom. You literally are going to feel better about yourself. So how about we go from logistics of what's in a challenge pack and how to get started and all that stuff. How about we shift it from the logistics to how they're going to feel? How about we shift this and shift this culture to this is why you need this, because this is what it's going to do for you. It's going to take the guessing out of it for you. Your whole kitchen is going to be transformed by this. You're no longer going to feel this coping mechanism with food, right? You are not going to feel in a fog and a funk all the time. Your anxiety is going to reduce. How about we make that shift? Doesn't that sound awesome? But isn't that what we actually do? Isn't it? Isn't that actually what happens? Sometimes we can get so caught up in this logistics and then we freeze because we're not good at the logistics. We're so nervous about the logistics. We don't know what, I get this all the time, like, Julianne, when do I segue the conversation? I'm like, you just do it. You're trying to perfect it. You're trying to wait. You're trying to see when a good moment would be, but how about you just do it? Because it's 80% action, 20% knowledge. And let me tell you, the more action you take, the better at this you'll get. I'm not naturally good at handling objections because, one, I wasn't born into sales and born into MLM and born into coaching. I learned it throughout this journey of trying. I learned it by just taking action. It's not what you know, right? Knowledge is potential power. It's what you do with what you know, and then you get better at it. And I know we're afraid of this no and whatever, and but you guys have to understand that people are so good at fighting for average, and they're fighting for their excuses. They're fighting to stay on the couch. They're fighting to remain okay with being okay. So you can't let that tiny mindset and small thinking and small playing be the reason you don't keep going for it, because when you keep going for it, something amazing is going to happen. And it's going to be so cool throughout this journey. And I don't want to set you up for failure in this. I don't want you to have unrealistic expectations that, man, people I've massively believed in have quit. People I've invested in quit. People who got results quit. Some people didn't even start. I had people sign up and quit the same day. I had people buy a challenge pack and return it in the same day. I've started the month with -3 Success Club points. Shout out to Kim Meyer. She just hit Success Club for 33 months in a row. 33 months in a row, and 34, 5, I messed it up. 31 months in a row. We're close. 31 months in a row, and 4 of those months have not been SC10. That's beastly. That means she's helping 3 at least a month. Because why? Her life is transformed too much. You guys, there can't be too much health and too much happiness. We can't keep that to ourselves. And I think as coaches, we have to remember that, is that you're like, when Brittany's about to share, like, her whole life has been transformed. It's not fair for her to keep that to herself, because if I would have kept that to myself, she wouldn't have a story to share. Is that true on here? If I would have kept my story to myself and my journey to myself, and if I would have just kept this in, because my life is freaking transformed, but it wouldn't be fair. So are you guys in on the help one? And as we go, coaches, gotta get to Emerald. And I'm gonna say it like this. As an Emerald, you're not gonna fully understand this yet. Trust that you'll get to know it, okay? This is actually my favorite part of the business, is the logistics, actually, is the numbers, is the helping grow income, is the helping you build businesses that give you financial freedom. I already know that you've got the other stuff in the bag. I already know that the culture that we have on Team Happy and Fit is one of self-care. And so something that I'm extremely passionate about is really helping you maximize this compensation plan. And I really do believe you need to understand this part of it, not maybe the like actual logistics of it. I'll help you with that part. But is this, did you know as an Emerald coach, you can max out, and we get paid in two ways: commission essentially, and mentoring. And mentoring sounds scary. Mentoring could be from this call. Mentoring could be from this team page, right? Mentoring can be from YouTube, our coach training. Like, please don't get like, I just started. You can't get there. Don't limit yourself. You have so much possibility in this. Actually, you're more relatable where you are right now, no matter what. Your enthusiasm is enough. Your journey is enough. Your transformation is enough. But this is what you can build with that, is getting to Emerald. You have to do it. I'm not kidding. It's like kind of like a duh. This is like an obvious if you hear me out on this. As an Emerald, you can max out, which coaches on this call have done, based on, and again, you might not understand this yet, is $250 a week. Like, almost like this residual income, almost like automatic. And you can build up to that. If I were to be an Emerald coach right now, I would be more than maxing out at that. And some other coaches on here too. What would $250 do for you a week? Like, would that change something in your household? Would that do something for your life? But get this, then you don't stop there, then you keep going, and you go Emerald again, and then again, and then again, and that's where you can really start to maximize this team cycle of mentoring, right? And again, this is from Beachbody. Beachbody's paying you. You're not getting cut from anyone's check on this call. It's all coming from Beachbody. Beachbody's noticing and recognizing you, and do you realize that there's more than enough for you in there? Wouldn't you want a piece of that if you're allowed to have a piece of that? Heck yeah, let me keep going. As an Emerald, or sorry, as a Ruby coach, you can be maxing out as $1,000 a week. Just for being that rank. That's not even counting all of the commission stuff. That's not even counting any of that. Let's just keep going. Diamond coach, $2,000 you can max out a week. A week. What would that do for your life? Like, seriously, like, that's incredible, right? And then for 1 star, it's $3,000. 2 star, this is where, if you are on this call and you are new, you need to write down 2 star. I don't know what it means, but I need to hit it. That's what I did with Elite. I was like, I don't know what Elite is, but I'm going to do it. I literally said that. I had no idea what Elite was, you guys. It's the top goal to hit every year. It's like so awesome, and it's a team goal. And I was like, I'm going to hit it. I'm not sure what it means. And then I just taught myself what it was, and I asked a lot of questions. And I figured it out, and now we're going it for our 3rd time. You guys, I didn't know. I went from diamond to 5 star in 1 year. Kim and her team went from diamond to 6 star in 1 year. It's incredible, right? Like, anything is possible. I've seen new coaches, a coach that's been a coach for 8 months went from diamond to 5 star in one business center this year. Elite. She's been a coach for 8 months. I was like, whoa, I did not do that in my first 8 months. But where this compensation plan really starts, like if you really are wanting income, it starts at 2 star. Let's get to Emerald first. Emerald is a decision. You'll hear me say that over and over again. That's family. Like, your family is spending money somewhere. They might as well be spending it and investing it on their health. This is the total solution. And I'm not embarrassed by that. I'm not hesitant about that. I'm not nervous about that. This helped me lose 35 pounds. This helped me gain confidence. What has it done for you? This literally gave me the option to retire at the age of 26 as a teacher. In the beginning, it paid for our bills. It paid for our couch. It allowed us to go on some trips, right? It gave me a community of support. It allowed me to meet new people that I would have never met. It's helped my mindset. I believe this. I believe in it because I'm living it. So it's easy to believe in something and talk about it and know the value you're giving someone is to actually change their life. Emerald is a decision. It was Eric and this girl that I went to her house with the binder. You guys have heard that story. And my mom. Most diamond businesses are built off of family. Most diamond businesses. That was not the case for mine. It's a decision. Emerald is a decision, but the reason you need to hit this goal is because it ignites your business in that team cycle I was just talking about of $250. You won't get it right away, but you have to trust this compound effect. You have to trust me on this. I didn't get it. When I first started, I did not understand it. And now I'm like, thank goodness I just trusted my mentors. They were looking out for me. They knew what this was about. They showed me the bridge to freedom. They had massive belief in me when I had no idea what was going on. And I trusted this process. Delay result indeed. But let me tell you, success is not convenient, but it leads to a life of convenience. This will change the course of your life if you trust it and you get transformation yourself and you stand behind it. It's all about these three things. Belief in this company. It's easy. You can see testimonials. This entire $1 billion business and company was built off of testimonials. People getting results. At Summit, how many people did we see lose 100 pounds, 120 pounds, 150 pounds, 172 pounds, right? This works. It works. It's a belief in this company, a belief in this team. And I can't say enough what this team has done for my life. I can't. Like this, where do you find people celebrating each other, not competing with each other, but raising each other up, there for each other in their hard, encouraging each other, loving on each other, supporting each other, and getting healthier and happier? You know how someone feels about themselves based on who they surround themselves with and how they treat themselves, right? In upstate New York, where my family is from, everyone smokes there and everyone is massively overweight, but not trying to do anything about it. And I'm like, you are a product of who you surround yourself with. When you surround yourself with people who are elevating, don't you want to be around that? I always talk about that. Like, what table do you want to sit at? Sit there. Find the way or make the way. Don't you want to be sitting at the table of people who are living their healthiest and happiest life? You deserve that. You 100% deserve that. And that's what we breathe into this. So belief in the team. The team is so awesome. And then thirdly, this is the hardest one, is a belief in yourself. And sometimes you may not, but that's why this team counts. This team and your mentor and your sponsor can breathe belief into you when you find it hard to find your own belief. They're going to redirect you, course correct you, help you. And then, but I just need you guys to understand that in one business center, the business center you have right now, not only can change and transform lives just as this on this call, but literally, if you continue to build your business and you keep on going and you do not quit, you could make in one business center, just team cycle bonuses, $12,000 a week. Just in that process, not with commission. And yeah, maybe money is not the reason you want to do this. I get it. But what if you helped 3 people and they needed that money to change their life? That's how I always think about this. I don't need to lose 35 pounds anymore. I don't, but I still show up for my workouts and I show up for other people so they can get started on their journey. I don't think Trina Gray needs to make any more money than she's making now, but she shows up heavily because she knows that not only can she be a millionaire, but also other people, and that can't stop with her. And that's exactly how I feel. And so it can't be this, well, I don't need that. I'm not thinking about me. So I invite you to think the same about your journey. And again, you don't have to be at your goal weight. You don't have to be further along in this. It's not how this works. Success does not discriminate as a coach. It doesn't. It's literally based on your own skill, hard work, and diligence. And I'm telling you, it is easy to do and easy not to do this business. All right, enough of me. Everyone plays a role on this team, and I'm really grateful for it, and I love it. But I think I need to keep talking about this because I don't think people when people quit, I'm like, I don't think they knew the opportunity that was at their fingertips. I don't think they understood it. And I think it's just my responsibility to show you and to help you and to make you fully aware that literally you working on yourself with self-care and helping others do the same can drastically change a lot of lives. Not just financially, not just physically, not just mentally, emotionally, every area. We have something at our fingertips that is so beautiful. Even giving the gift of this community to someone who is struggling with depression, struggling with isolation, right? Feeling like a failure. You could give them this gift of this community and change their entire life. Okay, I'm done. I would love to hear from Brittany Burmeister. She just celebrated her 1-year coach anniversary. What do you guys call it? I don't even know. But most coaches quit within their first 3 months. Not necessarily on this team, but in the network. Like, it's an actual fact that most coaches quit. And I never gave myself, I'll give it a year and try. I was like, there's just no option to quit. There's just no option. Delay result, slow and steady wins the race. That's what I wrote down when I first started. I believed that I could do it. I didn't know how. I just figured I could figure it out because other people had figured it out. And why not me, right? So most coaches quit between 1 and 3 months, and not a lot lasts to a year. And just knowing that Brittany had said no to me for such a long time and then has been a coach for a year, it was almost like I was celebrating my year of coaching with her because of just how proud I was. And there was a moment of her and I talking a couple weeks ago, and I said, this is all I wanted, was for you to experience this. And she's going to tell you a little bit about that. So Brittany, can you just share your story of this year and what it's done for you? And that's all I have for you. So you can share the rest.
I hope that you're all ready for this because I'm about to drop some serious tear-jerking moments. So I'm going to apologize because I will probably tear up during this, but it was actually a year ago tonight. I had texted Julianne about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I said, what are you doing? And she's like, well, I have a team call tonight. Why? And I was like, well, I'm in. How much is it? She was $160. And I went, okay, I'm in. And she's like, oh my gosh, you can get on our team call tonight. And that was it. I just thought team calls had to happen. That was just the mindset that Julianne set right from the get-go, was that this is the most important thing. And it really has. In the last year of my life, had I not had this, had I not had the exposure to the community right off the bat, so many things wouldn't have happened the way they did. I will also start off by telling all of you that I was that person that would see Julianne giving away free things and go, oh my gosh, I want it. She's like, great, we got to get you started with a challenge pack. I was like, how much is it? She was $160. And I never responded every time. At one point, she even had this free group where she asked a bunch of us that she knew were interested to help lead a portion. And I was so hesitant. I don't remember much of the group. I remember Julianne giving me this script of what to say on which day. And I was just responsible for posting it that morning and then some check-in in the evening. And then I disappeared right again after that. This was back when you were doing after school workouts in your classroom, way back in the day. I remember seeing all those videos, everything, but I had asked her several times in the price and just never committed. And then one day it just clicked. I was so tired of failing at that point. It was what's another $160? It's already going to a gym membership. I was spending $45 a month on a tub of protein, which if you've ever had like protein, like whey protein supplement, try choke that down. Another $40 on a pre-workout supplement that left me super nauseous and jittery every workout. And then another $52 on a fat burning supplement. And if you were taking the fat burning supplement, you weren't allowed to have caffeine because it was dangerous for your heart. Real thinker here, right? So anyway, the last year, there are two things you need to know about my life, and I didn't know they were connected until recently. The first thing is that I have had to disown my actual family. I've had to completely cut them out of my life and just essentially block them off. They don't know how to get a hold of me. They don't know anything that's going on with my life. It was such a toxic situation. The other thing you need to know is that on December 23rd, 2017, I had a mental breakdown. I lost my shit, essentially. And they're connected. The anxiety that was brought on by my family and my relationships for so long, just kind of, my brain just said, I can't take it anymore. And I didn't know it was connected. And you can ask a lot of these women here. I disappeared until like the end of February. I had every intention of doing 80-day obsession and it didn't happen. And there was a point, I remember there were 2 points. I remember being in the car with Jonathan, who, by the way, is like my rock. That man is absolutely amazing, and he is so incredible. But there was a moment where we were sitting in the car, and I looked at him. I was crying every day at that point, so he just accepted the fact that there were going to be tears every day. But I looked at him, and I said, when is it going to go away? And he turned back, and he goes, the emptiness? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, it will. It's going to take time, but it will. And then I don't remember when in the process it was, but I looked at him and I said, I don't think I'm going to do anything, but I think the world might just be better off with one less burden. Like, it had gotten to that point where I was considering just ending it because it wasn't worth it. I was calling in sick so much. I couldn't get out of bed. I lost track of time. There were days that I would get up and just lay there the entire day. And it had gotten so horrible. And I'm so glad that I can see her face on this screen right now, because it was that same night that I had looked at John and said that I thought that this was it and that I was done. And no sooner than I said that, Nikki Touch sent me a message on Facebook and said, hey, I haven't seen you on Facebook in a while. How are you doing? And I was like, this woman has never met me in person. And she is reaching out to me because she has noticed my lack of presence on Facebook. Like, who does that? I don't post for a day or two on Facebook, and my own family doesn't reach out. Like, what is this? What is this? And since then, I mean, Lisa, lately, I've really been struggling with my family situation, and this woman has sent me a text message every day telling me that I am enough. Like, just randomly sending a text. And so it really took this community to bring me out of the funk. It wasn't, I stopped drinking Shaco. I had stopped working out. It wasn't getting back into those things that regulated my life again. It was getting back on the team calls and connecting, because that's where it was. So for me, it was all about community, and I didn't know it. At first, I told Julian, I just want the discount, like, no big deal. And then it took over my life. I don't need the money. Like, John and I aren't hurting for anything. We don't really need for anything, but I want to be a stay-at-home mom so bad. Like, I walked out college with my cap and gown and went, yeah, I just spent $95,000 so I could be a stay-at-home mom. And that's all I want out of life, is to be a stay-at-home mom someday. And so this last year of my life has probably been the most difficult and yet the most rewarding, because at the end of the day, I may not have blood relatives to lean on, but I have these ladies and gentlemen. David freaking rocks, and I've never met Eric Condia, but I think he rocks too. But the amount of support I've received in the last year, I think, is better than any antidepressant or any anti-anxiety medicine that is out there. And I am just so thankful for everything this community has provided to me. I would spend $160 all over again if I didn't get any product out of it, but the community. 100%.
Oh, I love you, and I'm just so proud of you. And I just think, like, life is going to be hard no matter what. We might as well connect to an awesome community and work on ourselves through it. And then we can just really see, like, wow, we're made in the hard. Like, we are made. I was telling this to a friend, and I was just like, I've never looked back in my life being like, oh, I'm glad life has always been so easy. That's not when we feel the most victorious. The most time we feel victorious is when we can look back and be like, wow, I survived that. I did that. I took that leap. I did hard things, and I learned so much about myself. And Brittany, you are such a light and such an encourager. And I just am so grateful that you said yes. And you guys, this is, so just to know the tactical, logical way of how did I keep following up with her. I don't know if you would remember this, Brittany, but she would reach out to me when I would post about a group. And I would just say, you need to do this, and I'm not going to stop asking you. I would be upfront about that. But really, my normal check-in with her for most of the time over those 3 years were, hey, how's the gym going? Because do you remember that? And I was like, I know there's going to be one day when I ask, and this was the time. I knew that there was going to be one time when I asked that you weren't going anymore. And it was this.
Me every time she asked that, and I was like, how does she know? Like,
and it was a year ago. You're like, actually, it's been really bad. I was like, oh, you should just do what I'm like it's time. I just believed in her. And this is my next thing with that. Lauren Lundberg, I'm not sure if you're on, we're in a message thread. You guys, our team is about to be 8-star qual because Caitlin Green is a beast, and her coaches and her, like, it's so cool and it's so awesome. And Diamond is on her way. I was actually saying this to Eric the other day. I was like, she deserves this. Like, Caitlin Green deserves this so much just because of this entire journey. You've been with this team for so long, and I'm just, like, so excited for you. But Lauren Lundberg in a message thread said, and sent a picture. Those of you who are in that thread, is a picture of her dream team list. I always worked from a dream team list. Jamie, you were on that. Brittany, you were on that. Like, straight up on that. And I would work from that list and reach out to these people that I really genuinely wanted them to be a part of this, because I knew what would happen once they were. And so that's my question to you guys. Do you have a dream team list, and are you just massively believing in those people? Because they will say yes if it's the right fit and if it's the right time. So Lauren Lundberg just, like, showed me a picture, and I was like, we used to do that all the time. Like, we would always have this list to work off of. And I don't track all my conversations. It's as soon as they get an email and I put them into Streak, that's what I mean. But I mean, like, I actually worked from a dream team list of people that this opportunity would bless their life greatly. I loved them. I enjoyed them. I knew what this would do for them. And there's been random people that I've been able to meet because of my social media and stuff like that. But I mean, a list of people I've entered, like Corey, this girl who got a challenge pack. I'm like, she will love this team, and she needs to go on my dream team list. And I don't think that this team is always a fit for everybody. So I encourage you to make that dream team list if you've gone away from that or have never done that, because it will literally set your soul on fire. And Brittany, that just reminded me of that, because you were literally on my dream team list. And it was a dream come true when you were like, I'm doing it. I was like, oh my gosh, that was like 3 years of just believing that she would. And you were on my list. And I think that list, it shouldn't be like 1,000 people. I think your dream team list, right, is like 20 to 40 people that you just like follow up with and you believe in them constantly. Okay, next up is Lisa Locke. She sent me a message and she said, this would be a perfect for a Zoom. I was like, great, you can lead it. And so that's where I'm ending.
All right, awesome. I did tell Julianne that I had to finish my ice cream before I got on here. So I'm just going to be real. I've been homesick all day, so Matt thought I should, get a treat. So anyway, I really love PD, and it's just something that I feel like I have grown in so much. And it was last week sometime, I was on my way home, and I usually listen to different podcasts or like audiobooks in the car, and I was listening to The Life Coach by Brooke Castillo, and her episode called Who Are You Becoming? And it just, for whatever reason, connected with me in that moment. And it like blew my mind. And I was like texting Julianne, like it wasn't even finished yet. And I'm like, oh my God, like this and this and this. So I'm just going to share, if you guys want to listen to it on your own time, I think it was like 25, 30 minutes. It was pretty quick. But basically she talks about what you are capable of now doesn't depend on your past. So she uses the example of like a baby learning to walk. Would you tell a baby who's learning to walk, you can't do that because you've never done it before? No. They need to, take the steps, literally and figuratively, of someone or a child that's walking. So basically, she's saying that your past does not tell us what our future is going to be, because our future is our new growth. So I know that I've caught myself saying like, well, I've never done that before, I can't do that. So that means that you're basing everything back, on your past. So basically who you are right now, you're thinking that that's who you've been programmed to be. But how have you been programmed to be? That's all habits. Those are all things that have been learned from other people. So basically she's telling us that we are in charge of our future. It's things that I've heard this before, but just the way she talks about it just really connected with me. So instead of answering like, who am I? Instead of answering on your past, answer with the future. So think about, who are you becoming? I am becoming a confident leader. Then I need to take the actions of someone who's doing that. I need to act like I'm already there. So like for Julianne, she lost 35 pounds. So when she started her journey, how did she get to her current future? She took the actions as if she already lost 35 pounds. So that means the thoughts of someone who's already lost 35 pounds, she worked on her mindset. That means the feelings, how you feel about yourself, how you, feel physically. And then obviously, taking the steps as far as nutrition and exercise. So that's one way of putting it. You can kind of really use it with any goals, but basically you determine your future and you're going to live like you're already there. So what does that mean? You need to be an actor. So she kind of does segue saying like, well, that's inauthentic if you're being an actor. Well, is authenticity living based on your past that's been programmed by other people? No, it's not. Authenticity is living how you want to live. So you need to be an actor. You need to write the script. So Julianne was talking about different ranks. So what your rank is, I want to be diamond. Okay, what does someone who's diamond, what do they do? How do they act? So what are the actions? And I'm saying this because I need to hear it. So I'm being vulnerable because I need to hear this because I'm not taking the actions that I should be taking. So what are the actions that that person's going to take, and do them as if you're already there? And then what are their thoughts? What do they think about? And then how do they feel? So you need to write the script, memorize the lines and the feelings, because if your thoughts and feelings aren't connected, you're not going to get there. It's just not going to happen. And then you need to practice it every day.
I ordered this book. So she talks about two books in there, and she said the wrong title. So the one is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Because I was sick today, I think I read like half of this, and I kept talking to Matt the whole time because I was like, oh my God, it's so amazing. This book is not your typical, it really piggybacks on what she talks about. It's not your typical like PD type book. It's very scientific. I love that. Like, it goes into neurotransmitters, and like I learned about quantum physics today. Like, it sounds really intense, but he like explains it in a way that makes sense. But it's all about how we're just all energy. Atoms are energy. So if you change your energy, you change your thoughts and your feelings, you change your future. And it was just like mind-blowing, kind of crazy and mind-blowing in the same way. And then the last book was, I don't have it in front of me, I think it's like The Final Word on Power or something, the last word on power. So I can put that like in the team page. But she really explains this very well if you guys want to listen to that podcast. But it's all about who are you becoming? So not like who do you want to become? It's like, who am I like now? Like, pretend like you're already there. So whatever it is, if it's health, if it's a health goal, a fitness goal, if it's a mindset goal, you need to act like you're already there. And it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be 100% worth it. So that's my...
You rock. These are my two questions that I have for all of you on here. Lisa, you're amazing, and she's so awesome with finding the best PD ever. Is this, you need to grow into your goal. You need to grow into your goal. You need to think, act, and speak like that goal. And so my question for you is, what will it feel like when you go for it? What does it feel like when you're there? And I need to tell you this story. I didn't know what elite was. And as I'm saying it right now, some of you may not know it, but I need to tell you why I went for it. I forget about these little things. I just go for it. You guys see me go for it, but I forget about the pivotal moment. It's kind of like when I decided to leave my job. It was because I had to head back to my job and missed out on an opportunity. And that was the moment where I was like, I'm done with that. That will never happen to me again. And it was that pivotal moment that made me go for this. So the pivotal moment I had with going for elite, I didn't need to know what elite was to go for it. And I need you guys to know that. You may not know everything about Emerald or the compensation plan or Diamond or losing 35 pounds or this and that, whatever. But the pivotal moment for me for going for elite was a Super Saturday and them announcing the elite coaches and their responses to when corporate told them that they were an elite team. I memorized that in my head. I took pictures of that in my head, and I pictured that phone call. And I pictured it. And Laura, do you remember that you were there when I got the second one? But that first time, I remember that whole year going for elite when it was up and down. I don't know if I can do this. Like, I remember I almost quit the goal a week before the last week to hit it. And I almost gave up on it. Like, it took a whole year and I almost threw in the towel. And I remember my mentor, Sarah Morrison, saying, like, you are not giving up on this. And we qualified that night. Like, the day I wanted to give up is the day we qualified. It was crazy. But all I pictured was getting that call. And this goal with 15 star, I could cry thinking about this, is Trina Gray walking across the stage for 15 star. She looks at me in the crowd, points at me, and I see her go, "You're next." And I literally was like this, and I just started crying when she did that. And I was like, yeah, it's time. It's time because I deserve that. And that's what I'm visualizing with this whole goal of 15 star, is walking across the stage and hearing all of you roar, because I heard you roar for elite, and just you guys knowing that if I can do it, you can do it too. That whatever goal that you want is your responsibility. If you say you want it, you have to act on it. And thanks for saying that, Lisa, where it's like, it's your responsibility. you are worthy and deserve your success. There is more than enough. There's more than enough room for whatever that looks like for you. So what is it going to feel like and look like when you go for it? And for me, it was visualizing that video at Super Saturday of corporate calling me. And that moment, I'll never forget it. And now what I visualize is Trina Gray looking at me from stage and pointing at me saying, "You're next." And all I can visualize is me on stage pointing at you saying, "You are next." Because it just took someone like that to believe that I could do it. And that's this whole journey where I can't express how much I believe that for all of you. And I want to be the person who went for it, who wasn't afraid to go for it, who kept going for it despite people quitting, despite setbacks and hardships and moves across the country and times that were so hard to get out of bed. Still went for it, still got it, and look at you and tell you that you can do it and that you deserve it, and watch you go for it. I would say my biggest accomplishment last year was Rise and Fit hitting elite. It wasn't me or Happy and Fit hitting that. It was watching another crew go through that journey and believing that they could do it too. You are entirely responsible for whatever it is that you want, and the thing is that you deserve it. So what is that picture for me? It was when I had to drive back to school and missed out on an opportunity. That is what I pictured going, that will never happen again. Anytime I get invited somewhere, anytime there's an opportunity to mastermind with people who want to better themselves, I visualized that and said yes. That was the thing that kicked my butt in gear, and I just went for it. And what is going for it look? I was relentless. I breathed this. I talked about it everywhere to anyone. I didn't care what people thought. I didn't care if they thought I was talking about it too much. Join me or delete me was my philosophy. And I figured it out along the way. I had no idea what elite was, but I saw that video and I said, that's going to be me. I still visualize that video. For a third time going for elite, I still visualize that video. So what is it going to feel like and what does it look like? And please don't shoot for something that's, you guys, shooting for elite is like so hard. But you're capable, right? So for yours, maybe it's, if you're thinking it's emerald, like I feel like you're shooting for it too slow because emerald's such a decision. It's literally like a good friend and like a spouse. Like that's how you do it. Like, and then it's like you just keep going. But diamond is like, man, like that's a little bit more stretchy, right? And then 2-star is really where you see the shift. If you feel like you haven't seen a shift yet, gotta get to 2-star because it does, it shifts. I can't explain it. It's amazing. And I want that for you. This is a team sport and you have to get people on the goals. Like you have to get them on board with the goals. You have to get them on board. And the thing is I know it's so cool because my PS coaches are so in my corner, and that's like so incredible because they know no matter what, I'm in their corner. Like that's a given. And so I just want you guys to know that like because you're in other people's corner, that people will be in your corner too. And it feels so like we're literally when I was like, guys, want to go for a round of qual again? Like, and they're all like, yeah, let's do it. And I'm like, man, it never gets easier, but they're in for this fight because it's a fight. Like it's a journey, but they're in and we're going to do it. And it's because we have the greatest team in the whole wide world. But the thing is that my biggest hope is that when you guys see me going for it, is that if I can do it, you can do it too. I want to be pointing at you and be like, come on. Now I'm going to leave you with this is now, okay, now show me. Don't just talk about it, be about it, act like it, visualize it. What is it? All right, we're going to go ahead and hit end on record.